with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On the draw, Conner, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be third down. Out of the gun, Dobbs. But it's brought in by Washington. 23 yards, the final tally.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Steelers.
Here we go. Come on, set. You can see the plan. All right, D. I'm set. Check. Lucky.
On first and 10 is Conner. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now second and 4. On second down, Conner looking for space and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try and run forward with Conner. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Conner on first down going to be stopped up as he'll lose about 3. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On second down, it's Conner, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of them.
And Dobbs is going to be swallowed up as he'll go down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Bengals will have a first and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Hands up. Wait. Like 50. Come off the ball, huh? Hands up.
This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Move.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Slam. Hey, Haywood. Hands up.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Switzer on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know they're fans. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now a draw play. This is counter. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Dobbs. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards. 1st down, Pittsburgh.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to counter. And he's taken down inside the 30. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st and 10, Dobbs. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
you go. 93, 52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go.
Come on, D.
Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. Go, go. Regular.
Throwing again. Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
2-by-2. Move. Here you go. 93, 52, 93, 44.
Dalton here from the gun. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
On 2nd down now, it's Connor. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here we go. 50.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
6 guys. Check 6.
Here you go, can. Here you go, can.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Call it a 3-yard gain. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Andy Dalton looked good on that pass, but I'll tell you what, all time in his career against Pittsburgh, it has been a struggle. 3-12 as a starter against these Steelers. Just more evidence of their dominance over the years in the AFC North.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Check 3.
third down. A shot here for Dalton. And able to find Green. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. So we have now seen connection number one between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number one target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
But if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He's got Green. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. That's another Bengals first down. First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Hey, 50. 50's a Mike. 50's a Mike. I got it. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Raven. Thing is a loss. We taking wins home.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Bullock's kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
They start the drive with Connor. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Downs. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Dobbs. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Bengals drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they'll go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Dalton got his man. It's Eifert. And I think Eifert may be in some pain. Staying down following that play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Motion, motion, motion. 50's the mark. 50's the mark.
And Dalton to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You.
Dobbs looking to throw on first down. Got an open man. It's Washington. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Right back to Connor here on first. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Off the play fake. Here's Dobbs. Pass incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now Connor. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Play it, play it, play it, play it.
2 by 2. Move. Hey, Echo.
From the gun, Dalton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
80 weapons.
1st and goal.
5-6.
They'll give it to Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try for Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Connor. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st down, Connor. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Connor. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run on 1st down. It's Connor. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On the draw, Connor. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
To throw again. Dobbs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 8-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing, Dalton. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6.
Nice hit.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Here you go, can.
Operating from the gun, Dalton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Now
a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Dobbs. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now this throw complete to Washington. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, Dobbs. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Geno Atkins in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And a solid run down inside the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
It's a gain of 2. That's another Bengals first down.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty
First and
quiet.
10 at the 28-yard line.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Steelers' 29-yard line.
Hands up. Lee.
50's the mine. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Bengals, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew,